Testing, testing. All right, we back, boys. All right, so it's a lot of stock gen by the Bunko player, as you can see. Yeah, those 2-1s have been paying a lot of dividends for the Bunko player. Let's see if I can't find exactly what they do. They are the what is that anime from? Not Strikers. What was it? It's the one where they fly on like jetpack legs. It'll come to me, I swear. Whiffed on the brainstorm. Again, more stock gen, but it's all, I think, blind stock, so like how much of that is a climax, I don't think the Bunko player really knows. He does have well, he ditched one, but he has 2 in hand. So there is that. Open field by the Sunshine player. Not sure exactly why. Maybe just keeping his cards till he hits the level 3 game and just decides to end Bunko's whole career from there. Deck looks pretty thin on the Bunko side though, so I mean if he does get hit to that refresh in a little bit, then not exactly the worst. Especially since it's on turn, that's another, you know, at least 3 cards going into that stockpile there. But it is all open slots. Bunko player, you know, taking a look at his references for translations. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards left in the deck. So again, 3 to swing, and then you know if he triggers each. Sorry, not triggers, but and if Love Live Sunshine swings past, it'll be a good time for him. Refreshed forced by the Bunko player for Love Live Sunshine, sorry. There is 1 CX in there that he won't be seeing back, so that's a little bit of a kicker. On the plus side, that's you know, some cards that isn't going back into the deck. Would have liked it to not have a CX though, of course. That's rough. So Sunshine play out 2. He probably has 1 in his hand for the end game. Cancels. And cancels. All right, so not the worst for the Bunko player in terms of damage. He's relatively compressed. If the Love Live Sunshine player is savvy enough, he'll probably try to swing for the 2 instead of hitting a 3. But like that literally depends on what he has in his hand. So you might be going for that whole Exodia build, in which case he needs everything. But I don't think that is the case in this particular matchup, in this particular Love Live Sunshine build. Clock Straw is another 2. Is that what he needs? See how it goes. Having only 5 stock means he can only play 2 level 3s, however, and that's what he's doing. I believe he played the Musashi. Good SP flex there. And there's another one. So I guess, again, you know, if they whiff, it's a bit closer. If not, then, you know, not running player labs tonight. I'm not sure what you mean, Devilock. I'm sorry. Oh, are you talking about like their mics? In which case, no, we aren't. We're still trying to figure out really how to integrate that well. You'll probably see the mics set up if it's on-site commentating versus off-site commentating. Yeah. That's what I thought you meant. So at this moment in time, we're just trying to figure out the logistics of having offsite on versus onsite. If we have onsite commentating, then the mics will be on for sure because you won't get that kind of ridiculous lag. As I mentioned before, it's I am offsite commentating, so there is about like a 30-second ish lag that kind of follows if they have their mics going, and if I talk, then you guys will experience like a 30-second lag as well. So if we do it this way, then it's a little bit easier for you guys to make sense of things. So again, I didn't see how many climaxes Bunko counted, but I mean he's definitely hella compressed. Let's count these stock there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I mean, at 12 stock, the world's your oyster, right? However, the first Musashi did hit, so no cancels on that. Force the deck refresh. See where this goes. I think he's finishing the damage. Yeah, sticks. I mean, this is exactly where Love Live Sunshine wants it to be. Yeah, so the level 1 hit until he hits level 3, and then the Musashi swung to force the refresh. No cancels on that. So I mean, even with all that compression, it should be over here. So we're literally probably gonna try to see if the last Musashi here, the last swing, will trigger a top check, unless he just eats it all here. Yeah, he just eats it all here. Jesus. How many is in there? How many? 2. 2 in there. How many in his hand? Probably like another 2. Where are they? He had 2, 3. Hey, man, he only had like 3 or 4 in there. That's rough. That's a little bit rough. Oh my goodness. So yeah, there you go. Hashtag how to eat 9 damage unanswered. I think it was actually a little bit more. More probably like the 10-11 realm with the extra soul. Oh boy. So there you go, guys. Stock gen is not everything, especially when it's blind. Put in 2. 2 in hand. All right, so 2 in hand, 2 in stock, 4 left in deck, and that didn't come out even with the 12 card in stock compression. I mean, what are you gonna do? Sashi's a good profile as well. Love Life's Sunshine player pushed from I want to say like 2.5, 2.6, something like that. So very solid push, especially if like he's banking on the fact that he didn't have any CXs. And even if he did, right, then Musashi burns will come into effect, hopefully putting him closer. To me, I feel like it would have been Sunshine having one more turn. Probably would have canceled. But yeah, that's game 1. Again, apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Whoever's watching for the first game, most of it was done under no sound due to some technical difficulties. Apologies. Thank you for tuning in now. Sorry to cut this short, but we are done round 1. So please stay tuned for round 2, and I'll be right back. And we'll be right back. And here we are for round 2, guys. Thanks for sticking around. Oh, it's a nice 2B mat there. That sure is really nice, man. Where did you get that? Hook me up. Let's see what I can make out from the player to the left. It might be Lucky Star. It is Lucky Star. All right, friends. There we go. Left side, Lucky Star. Right, I'm not so sure. P3 sleeves, tasteful. Oh, looks like a P5 deck. So at least it's still Persona. Persona, of course, a very solid deck in the English variant, and I mean Japanese too. You know, second place in the WGP tournament. Happened not too long ago. So yes, to the left, Lucky Star. Play is pretty vanilla, as you would expect from a very old set. Not much to say. I mean, he's probably just gonna look for some cards, probably living, some encore effects via clocking, maybe ditching of characters. So we'll see how it goes. P5 probably. I did see Joker finisher, so you know, led to believe it's probably going to be a bit more meta than not. So we'll see where this goes. We have the mulligan phase here. Ditching each side a piece, ditching 3 cards. Lucky Star ditching a climax. It's not the worst, of course. P5 drawing climax. I do see the Futaba pants trigger, so you know he might run that too. Futaba pants trigger, of course. Oh, is he running twins? That's interesting. I've dabbled a little bit before, but you know, it's always been tough because some of the deck kind of calls for a thief character, and of course the twins aren't thieves, but they are that supporting character cast. I did see some noir in there, so it looks like we have like a green centric deck as well. So I'm actually very curious to see maybe it's more defensive typing kind of deck. So of course he plays the card auto effect. He can ditch 1 to get a thief character from the clock to hand, and he clocks himself. Of course, no reason to because there's no thief characters. Second effect is he gives a character strength on swing, I believe, or at least on play. Sorry, it's a double auto effect. Pants trigger, no climaxes. Yeah, he doesn't have anything, so can't pants. And there you go. So at least he knows it's a CX in there. A little bit unfortunate that, you know, no targets. He does have the Noir Climax combo in hand, so ideally he wants to, I can't tell from here, but he needs a 3-2 clocked into the level 1 game, so he has to be has at least damage 1 in order for him to early play the 2-1, which runs off of the Green Stock Soul Climax combo. Here we go, some early aggression from the Lucky Star player, as he did see him triggering 1 of the climaxes. Maybe not the best, but here we go. We got some 2 souls happening. I think it's a 2 soul deck. At least it cancels. Still a fair amount of damage with 2 cards. But as an older set, it's I wouldn't say cheese, but you kind of do have to rely on like the 2 souls or the 2 soul triggers and whatnot have you to try to swing the game back into your favor. Some lucky hits every now and then, as well as some timely cancels, due to the old effects or the old costs of the cards. Plays the Yosuke, which gains power if he is in the center slot. I think on the opponent's turn. Could be wrong. I think it's a constant effect, but we'll see. And I mean, yeah, there's no reason to move him out of there. So him trying to move to the left makes me think that is on the opponent's turn, seeing as he can't get over the Konata. I think that was her name. 2 CXs that he saw in there, and he just triggered 1, so did a brainstorm that allows him to, you know, clock swap, basically. gets to choose a card, I think, a character, and adds it to his hand. Yeah, Futaba, good choice. Futaba's a good level 0 card, a good profile. Check top if it's a thief character. Add it to it as a marker, gains 1/5, so it's a little bit oversized at 3/5, and gains another level to dodge those level 0 bombs and whatnot. So he beats over anyways. A little bit unfortunate that he only has the one swing. Again, right, when you're playing the 2-1 early play that relies on the 3-2, you got to have like a near perfect hand to start, right? And it's always very tough because you need at least 3 cards, ideally like 4, in order to make your turn like really worth it at the level 1 game. And you have to not be at 0-6 at starting your turn. So like so many factors have to come in. Like I really like playing the green variant, but like you get tied down so hard at the early game if things don't go your way. And things don't look like it's going in our Persona player's way right now, with not as many swings as he'd like. Because I mean, it is a stock genning kind of deck, right? You have the Futabas in the back, the 3-2s that pay stock to decrease soul. Just all of that requires a lot of stock, right? So you want to get your stock gen as early as possible. And just keep building that stock, because again, also the stocks will blind stocks as well, right? So hopefully you won't hit the climaxes either. So a lot of things have to go right for this kind of variant of the Persona deck to take off. Yeah, clocks a 3-2, so he does have the 3-2. As like again with the addition of like additional swings, right? He can only play now one of the 2-1s instead of like maybe 2 if he had 2, right? Just because he doesn't have enough stock. Meanwhile, Lucky Star is just happily farming away with his 2 characters. He did manage to get it, so there you go. Quite the strong card at the level 1 game with the climax combo, which is a stock soul. It gains 1/5 until the end of the opponent's turn, which puts it at a meaty, I think 9/5. I think it was. Yeah, so it's a meaty like 9/5, and be hard to go over it, especially if he does have any of like the 2K backups that Persona can run. He runs the 1-0 Stuco. I don't think that is the one with the climax combo. I could be wrong though. There is another climax combo one with the Stuco combo. He plays the level 0 Futaba. It is a Shadow Thief, so it does go under as a mark, face down. Gains 1/5 and gains a level. The noir in the background there, in the backstory on play of a climax, gives 1,000 to another thief character. So he'll probably drop it right now. Ideally, I think he would also want to get rid of the Futaba climax in his hand. He doesn't need it right now. Really only matters at the end game where you're paying for the Futaba's effective damage canceling. So he drops it. So green card to stock, and then on the on play of the climax, the 2-1 allows you to blind stock. And blind stock effect. Hopefully he remembers blind stock effect. Yeah, blind stock effect. Top of card to stock. Yep. Oh, someone should tell him that he can't see that card. It's a blind stock. So next time. Yeah, you don't know what that card is, so he shouldn't have flipped it towards himself. But I'm unfamiliar with the player, so probably just new blood. Yeah, Audrey for sure. Probably talk to him after there. Yeah, so the level zeros are gonna get beat over. No contest there. I get skewered for that. Yeah. For sure. My triple Haru wall. Yeah, I mean that's the ideal, right? The triple Haru. Like so many things have to go well for that to happen, especially like straight up you hit level 1, you're 1-0, clock that 3-2, and you have 3 stock to pay out. Like that'd be amazing. But here we are. The Konotas are gonna be quite troubled in terms of beating over the 2-1. He's not even gonna bother. Just gonna beat over the 1-0 and the 0-0 Futaba. Makoto, I think that's what her name was. I could be wrong. I hope I'm right. Might just refer to them by their code names in Persona. I mean, yeah, he's just going Hail Mary. Doesn't matter. He just wants damage at this point. Ooh, there we go. Oh, cancels. Yeah, but all Lucky Star as an older set is doing it is just trying to deal damage, hopefully get the lead and stay in the lead. The effects aren't going to be anything to go or blast about. I think he sided with the middle, so it doesn't do anything. He was probably hoping for like a 2-soul. But I think he's trying to keep the characters on board as like they're not reverse effects. He doesn't see the reverse effects of the level 1 game. So yeah, Audrey at the level 2 game, yeah, for sure. But at currently level 1, I mean, it's just going to be a little bit suffering. Triple Haru early play with 2 Carolines to eat that blind stock and build hand. Yeah, like I do like the Carolines. I just found like when I played the deck, it's a little bit finicky, right? Because like if you add the twins as well, that's like another piece that you need in terms of the perfect level 1 game, right? Because ideally you'd have 3 Harus and like the two twins in behind. You play CX and you blind stock and you get to debate when you want that. When you want the twins effect to happen. Specifically, I think it was Caroline's effect that is the Amagi effect. Okay, so it's interesting. He does play the 1-1 Noir. The effects, I think, escape me at this moment in time, just because like I don't think anyone really would play it. It's interesting. I'm not sure if this is the one of the few ones that allow you to swap with a character that's been reversed with another lane, and you have that character attack the already reversed character. I'm hoping he doesn't just start swinging with just 2 cards. Like as I mentioned, like this variant of Persona 5 needs a lot of stock to function at the end of its game. With the 3 2s and the Futaba in the back as well. And he runs Joker as well, right? So all these effects like just add up hardcore. I mean, yeah. So let's see what he does. I mean, he really should just lay down another card. Yeah, there he goes. So the 1-0, 500 for each other thief character. Your classic. Was it Taige? Classic Taige effect. Basically, of course, as I mentioned, gains 500 for each other character. Or each character, as depending on the card. The additional 500 comes as a cost to something else, I'm sure. But respectable. He doesn't have another Noir climax combo, so he can't build that stock. But still a very solid swing with the CX. He probably had no way to. Originally, that effect was Ellie from Love Live. Yes, sorry, that's right. That was the reign of Love Live, Ellie, where you have the global 500, maybe both of them in the background, and now Ellie is suddenly sitting at a 7.58. Most decks at that time would like not be able to even come close. Your classic climax combos that require on reverse, probably roughly like at best 6, 6, 5, 7. Ooh, triggers the 2 soul, and it sticks. So, Lucky Star eats it. It was so much fun. Yeah, Love Live at that time was like a quite the power creep compared to what the decks were at the time. I believe you were just looking at like Sao, you were looking at like Guitari, you were looking at Madoka, Disgaea, I think. Oh, he eats everything, so like straight to level 2. So now we'll see if Lucky Star has that level 2 game as chat mentioned. And see if he can take off from there. Encore, keep the card. See if he has that level 2 game. Clock draw 2. Deck's about to refresh for Lucky Star. Rewrite that had just gotten anti-salvage. Oh, sorry, I was strictly talking about English. Sorry, Audrey. I was strictly talking about English just because in Calgary scene, during the reign of Love Live, we didn't really have many Japanese players at the time. So that's all I'm recalling in terms of memory. But you'd be right? So there would be the rewrite power creep that was just like the huge just salvaging wall and the anti-salvage. So yes, as mentioned, there comes down to 2-1. Pretty big. Definitely will get over the now only like 7, 5, 8. I think it was 8K, maybe 7-5, 2-1. So that's easily gotten over. Everything on the board looks like it's about to be ran over. Deck refresh from the Deck refresh is actually quite nice, honestly speaking, from the P5 player side. Unfortunately, he did trigger that Noir, and I don't think he ever paid out the one pants that he first triggered. I could be wrong. I feel like he didn't. I feel like he forgot and he brainstormed the turn after. Well, no. Then again, he paid it out with the 2-1. So it's out. So at least one is in there. Refreshes. I say it's nice because, as you can see, he has like at least 6 cards, 7 cards that didn't go back into the deck upon level 1 refresh, which is always nice. So it cancels. Also nice. He takes the deck refresh damage. Technically a refresh point if you guys want to be sticklers about it. As we know, refresh is not damage. Stock is quite clean on the Lucky Star. I think they also have one, as the Lucky Star player doesn't seem to be running the brainstorms. I didn't see him. No, he did brainstorm once, I think. So I'm pretty sure he tried to get it out as best as he could, but what are you gonna do? I feel like that's not a bad point to refresh with the amount of stock he has. Being at 2-4 is kind of a little bit suspect, though. Hopefully he cancels at least once. Ideally, like twice. I mean, ideally, like all 3 times, but like realistically, maybe one more time. So 2. It stays in that level 2 game because I don't think Persona, like this variant of Persona, runs anything at the level 2 game that is like amazing. You could probably try the Yosuke's, but I didn't see any Yosuke's in here. They would be the only other option in like a green blue with a random yellow for Joker. It looks like. So I don't see it happening. If anything, he's probably gonna try to beat over the other 2 slots and probably Hail Mary down the center. Yeah. So Brainstorm. Again, this is the clock swap Brainstorm. So everything. So the only choices he really has are based in the clock. None of which is particularly helpful. He does have the 3-2, I think that is, in the clock, so he might have tried to like fish for that, just to prepare for the end game a little bit. Yeah, he's just pushing up stuff now, in an attempt to just deal damage, hit him to 3, hopefully, and try to take the game from there. Because the longer this game goes on, the more the effects of the newer set, so in this case Persona 5, kind of take off. You know, the soul suppression, the anti-damage, versus the Lucky Star game where it's pretty vanilla swings. From what I can see, there might be a little restand combo in there, like a very costly one at that. Sorry, that Konota might have. I feel like that's the case. So yeah, so he grabs a 3-2 from the Makoto effect, and he probably gave power to someone else. Yeah, plays that out another 500 per. And he does have a climax in his hand to boot, but I think at this point you kind of want to keep that one, especially if you have the 3-2 Futaba in hand. I'm not sure if he does, right? But you know. And for those of you who don't know, 3-2 Futaba, a very good card, like a supporting card. Every card gets 1500. It also has the check and wreck ability, which is, as we describe it, if you take damage and it sticks, you may check the top of your deck. You may choose to keep it there or put it in the waiting room. So if it's not a climax that you checked, you could probably just put it closer to your, put it to the waiting room to make it closer to the next climax, right? In order to cancel. So a very defensive card. And the win ability is, of course, if your opponent battles the card in front of this card, or that is supporting, right? Sorry, it's the assist, right? So if an opponent battles the card that it's assisting, then you can pay 1, ditch the climax in hand in order to have that card deal no damage. Yeah, just vanilla swing. So again, as I mentioned, ideally he did cancel twice, so he's still at that level 2 game. Just building stock. He's come quite content with it. As resources, I mean, that's a 6-card hand. That's pretty good for a deck, for an older set, right, going into the end game. 6 cards, pretty good. He's been sitting on those walls for a while, too. So it's Persona. It has to be the onus on Persona to really get things going. He also canceled well at level 2, but like honestly, he probably would have liked to be at level 3 at this moment in time. So he does clock the CX. Again, unfortunately, he just drew another one, right? At this point, you can debate like what if he just played that climax. I'm not sure. I can't see the amount of cards left in his deck, right? But if it's a little bit more than 3, then you know if you played that CX instead of clocking. It would have gone back. But at the same time, like if he's really hurting for cards to play, then like clocking the CX would be the only way to have more cards to swing, right? So let's see what he Persona can do. I think he drew the 1-0 Yosuke that gives power on playing of an event. So he does have some vanilla, some costless cards to play, which is ideal. If he doesn't want to commit any more cards, like I think he just should push up the brainstorm. Especially if he's not dropping a climax, right? Like it's not exactly going to help on the defensive cards that you play anyways. In your end game, right? Which is the 3-2 Noir, 3-2 Futaba, and the 3-2 Joker, right? I mean, you can say like on play a climax, but like you'd rather keep the climax. Oh, he brainstorms. Okay. Oh, he hits 2. Okay, so he can take 2 cards, character cards, into his hand, I believe. Has to be a character. So he has to take 1 and clock himself each time, I believe. Yeah, so they call judge over, just to make sure that's the way it should be. I feel like that is how it usually is. Every time for each climax hit, you may take a character from your clock, add it to hand, and then clock yourself, and then do it again. So he would do that twice. Right? He can't pick 2 and then clock 2. But we'll see. Yeah, so he's just taking like a costless character, I think. And yeah, clock. And yeah, so exactly as I thought. So that's how it works. And now he gets to pick 1 more card. Sorry, refresh happens. That was indeed his last card. So yeah, like at this point, like I would have like tried to think it would have been worth it to like play that CX. But of course, as we know, he brainstormed 2. So if he just swung regularly, then they would have gone to stock instead of back. So this is probably the way to go. He probably knew there was like probably 2 in there and brainstormed. So that's fair. So now he finishes the brainstorm effect, right? If he wants to. Picks another one, adds it to hand, and clocks himself. Yeah. See, he wants to take the CX, but I don't think the Haru allows. Does it? Any card. All right. Well, there we go. So I was a little bit mistaken in terms of ooh, you know, you can say maybe that was poor shuffling. That's a little bit rough. But yeah, my mistake. So Haru's effect seems like it's any card in the clock, which is really good, right? Especially if he has a 3/2 Haru in hand. So now he can like play that and then have like a defensive option next turn as well. He's level 3, right? So if he has a Futaba, I'd slap it down right now. Oh, he runs the 3/2 clock kicker. That's interesting. So the queen clock kicker. As we know, it's a little bit unfortunate of a clock kicker. It doesn't actually gain power. Yeah, Audrey, I would agree. Yeah, so that was a timely brainstorm. The unfortunate bit, of course, was his clock after and the refresh both being climaxes, so he was out 2, and we know he had 1 in hand and 1 in clock before the refresh, so there's only 4 left. So those defensive options, you know, really coming into play right now. He doesn't seem to have the 3/2 Futaba. She does more work than the Jerk Joker. Devil, I would it's a little bit rough to say, right? Because although I would agree, like especially if you hit 3 first and they don't really have like a strong field to play, then you would get those clock kicks off, which is really good. But like she inherently doesn't gain power, so she would really need that Futaba in the back row to give it any boost. He keeps the Haru Brainstorm, right? So it does gain power as well on play of a climax, so it does get that additional 1k. But again, it is as clock kickers go, a little bit poor. Well, Joker is so hit and miss, and you have to clean out the opponent's stage. Yeah, right. So, like I said, it is quite arguable. I would agree, right? Bruce Joker makes her a boss. Oh, that's also fair. Fair to say. That's another climax triggered, though. That's not what you want to see. That is not what you want to see from the Persona player side, especially with those cards also lost in the exchange too, right? So that's just direct damage waiting to happen. Like it's gonna be rough. Like he can die right here. 7 damage is pretty easy in the event that you only have 3 climaxes left in deck. Yeah, so pitch I think it was 1 to clock kick. Maybe 2. I feel like it might be 2. Pitch 2 to clock kick. 1k per. Yeah, no, that again, as I mentioned, that assist is a good one. If only he ran more yellow into the deck. See, at this point in time, I would pitch 1. Yes, thank you, Devlot. Yeah, so I think at this time, with the amount of stock he had and the cards he has in hand, I would have probably just paid 6 to keep those cards out, right? Just because, like, if you have 3 climaxes left in your deck, I mean, I can't tell how thick the deck is. I don't think it is very thick or very thin, right? I would have probably paid 6 because let's see, he has 2, 4, 6, 9, 9 in stock with like I think 3 cards in hand, 2 like one of them being a climax. So like, what are the odds that you would be able to like clock and draw 2 next turn, or like make use of that 9 stock? I don't think you would, because like with the power of the deck, like 9 would be great if he had everything on board right now and like not caring, but like that's certainly not the case. That is to say too, if Makoto loses the battle, right, you can pay 1 to bounce her back to hand. So there's that. So you can always get back that clock kick ability, which is nice in that regards. And I think, yeah, so she gets that clock ability again when it gets back to your hand and you play it again. Yeah, so resting to give power to the Konata, and here we go for 2. 1, 2, sticks. I think keeping the cards would have been bad. Sure, he loses 2 attacks. Chance to make a swing 5, give a chance of the other 3 councils left. I mean, that's also fair to say. Yeah, bounce it back to hand. Oh, it's just a check top. Okay. Check top and has just a shadow thief. She does it. Wait, so does that? Does he still have to pay 1? That's my question. A little bit rough. Okay. Well, there you go. 4 damage. Also, no, 2 spots of Lucky Star happen to have on reverse effects. I mean, yeah, you always have to be cognizant. I don't think Lucky Star really has anything like that. So, of course, but if you're erring on the safe side, right, you'd probably just empty. You'd open your doors. Heal on play is the 3-2. He's flexing with that SP. Does he not heal? I'm pretty sure he heals. Yeah, heals 1. If he had that before, why didn't he go in? See, I see this brainstorm's a little bit suspect in my opinion. If you know this is like your basically last turn and you didn't, you couldn't clock, why would you brainstorm? Because that's another swing, right? Yeah, it's rough. So 3 and the backup, so he loses the defensive option. Not that he could do anything. Of course, the 3/2's defensive option requires a card that you discard as well as the 2 stock in order to suppress soul, and that cancels too, right? See that, like, if that was the case, if he had another swing, like, you could still bring it back. Okay, well, double cancel seals the deal there. So yeah, as a Persona player, I think you're just praying at this point, right? Most of your climaxes are Sigma Flare. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, I mean, again, at this point, right, you're just praying. The deck will probably refresh. I don't know how many cards are left, so hopefully he swings big. I mean, he just needs two damage on board, right? So like, you can just technically swing with all vanillas unless he has like a burn somewhere. Yeah, so that's game. Lucky Star takes it. So yeah, a little bit unfortunate with the refresh there for the Persona. Just couldn't get it. And like, if he had the 3/2 Futaba in the back, I think he would have been like pretty peachy, especially with like that 9 stock or 7 stock. I guess he would have been at if you had to pay for the Futaba. But that also meant like he might not have lost that many cards, and like the open slots would have been less damage taking. Again, you can always debate. I won't say argue because we are civilized people here. We can always debate about like whether he should have lost those cards or not. But again, the stock didn't really help him out at the end, anyways. So paying for those might not have been the worst case. I still feel. You can debate whether. I mean, yeah, if he takes more damage, he's more likely to cancel. But like, if your deck's like super thick, anyways, like, I would probably just kind of gun for hopefully he just does like maybe 2 damage, maybe 3 damage if he does have a CX. If he doesn't, because I think in this particular case, I feel like he would have taken less damage, but like, you never know. Paying for the clock should have been done going into final turn, though. That leaves the 3 attackers. Paying for the clock should have been done going into the final turn, though. That leaves 3. Yeah, I would agree. I don't know why he didn't play the... Because I feel like he had that SP. Because he didn't clock or anything, right? Unless he just drew it. Because if he had it, like, I don't know why you wouldn't just keep it as a defensive option. Because even if it loses battle, it still suppresses soul. And you heal. And he would have healed. But that's my 2 cents. Yeah, again, the green-blue kind of noir early play, as much as I love it, but like it's a little bit difficult to pilot because you just need so many pieces at the beginning with not much ways to get it. Oh, I see we're going right away, maybe? Maybe. Oh, wait, shoutouts to the channel fireball.com. I'm actually not sure. I'm actually not sure what that site leads to. So discretion, like I have no idea. Don't go to that site. You didn't hear it from me. So yeah, no breaks here on the Weiss train. It's good for us, right? To our left, I think we have Goblin Slayer, guys. It's a Magic the Gathering site. Well, there you go. Shout out to Magic the Gathering. War of Sparks, I think it was. To our right, I think he's playing Bang Dream. I could be wrong. We'll see. Pop in that energy drink. Energy drink? Sorry, it's just Dr. Pepper. If he's not playing Steins Gate, he's not playing Steins Gate. I wish he was playing Steins Gate. Would have been perfect. But to our left, I believe it's Goblin Slayer. So hopefully you guys are in a treat. Goblin Slayer being a very widely respected, yeah, there it is. A very respected deck coming out from all the card of the days. Like on paper, it's like, you know, a very brilliant set. A lot of things, a lot of utility. Ooh, he does get into the runner, the high elf runner. So he clocks a torch. Oh, gets a torch. What a good player. There we go. It's Bang Dream versus Goblin Slayer. Yeah. So you have the elf runner. Very good card. Very good. Like I think the first profile of its kind. So on attack, you may return 2 for it to get a soul, and it runs for free. So you can keep putting cards back in, although not necessarily the best, but you get plus soul option at the beginning. So like you always want to deal more damage before the first refresh of the game. So Goblin Slayer seems to be running the Priestess early play, Soul Suppress, so that might be a little bit rough. A lot of people really don't know how to get around it at this point in time, or at least I don't. It's quite the strong combo hitting level 2 if you have the Climax combo, because like you just have that Soul Suppression with multiple Priestesses at the level 2 game, and they heal. It's quite rough. So the Goblin Slayer he just played down is a quote-unquote interceptor. 5 or more cards gets 1/5 in a level, and it prevents other cards from moving, or it runs to a card with the slot in front of it. So super nice. Super nice opening from the Goblin Slayer. And you have the Brainstorm in the back, right? So any event triggers, something gets 2k, as well as the rest itself, Search Brainstorm. For basically every card in the deck. So all he is really missing right now is like his level 1 game, right? The Goblin Slayer level 1 game, which is a 1055, I want to say 5k maybe. That actually I have my cards right here, so let's take a look. Let's take a look, chat. I will be right. Give me a moment here, and I will let you know how big that is. So he's 4k. Sorry, my bad. He's 4k, and gets 2k for like at least like another 2 or 1 order characters on the board. Very respectable card on attack, Climax combo off a gate. You get to salvage a torch, which is the TD torch, Akatsuki counter basically. It's an event. Rosalia is pretty screwed if that Priestess comes out early. Rosalia player showed a climax that plus is big on level 2 if you pull off Fever. I don't think it can reverse Priestess. Yeah, right? Like, Priestess is so big. So yeah, like ideally, I think the Bang Dream player Rosalia wants to hit. Really getting back to the game, really haven't played in forever. My deck last night I used to play with Nisekoi. Japanese or English Sigma Flare. Shoutouts to Nisekoi. We do have a resident Nisekoi player. Always does well somehow. Through the Fire and Flames. Runs both. Wants to dodge the level 0. I think it's forcing the side attacks, mayhaps. Gets the pants. Gets the book in hand. I think that's perhaps the level 1 climax combo. I'm not exactly sure on the Rosalia build, especially with the new stuff, right? Because to the right, the Bang Dream player is playing with the new Bang Dream stuff. Japanese. Oh man. I mean, Japanese Nisekoi is such a the deck is the key deck. I should say is quite refined in such that it's so optimal and does what it always does, like almost guaranteed, right? So even though Marika's limited to 1, like you'll always get what you need to get off. When that Sire reverses a card, they can take a card and move it to the back if rested. Okay, okay, so it's like a clean cut. So dodging it was the right choice. Very good from the Goblin Slayer play. Moving the Interceptor to another card as well as the runner. Lost the runner, but the Interceptor was, high enough level. Sorry, high enough damage. With more than 5 cards, so he's sitting at a very respectable 3/5. So it's very tough to get over without like any support in the level 0 game, unless you yourself are a early beater or you or yourself are a reverser. Rosalia to the right does run the toilet, so it's not exactly 100% Rosalia deck. Because, like, why wouldn't you run toilets? What a good card. Unless you run, like, a lot of, like, check tops. But even then, really? So that's a lot of cards for the level 1 game for the Bang Dream player. I think he's, like, maybe 10 cards in hand, maybe, right now. So we'll see. Everything will probably die in this turn from the Bang Dream player. Sorry, for the Goblin Slayer, like Bang Dream will run over whatever Goblin Slayer has. However, as an Interceptor, he can choose to dodge an on-reverse effect. The Rize in the middle, not so much. For those that don't know, the Rize in the middle is also the early play condition. It has to be in clock for the Priestess to come down at level 2. I wish I could tell you guys what the other back row is from that Goblin Slayer. I think it's just another Brainstorm, in all honesty. That's what it looks like to me. Sorry about the glare. But in that case, I mean, if he triggers an event, then, I mean, something gets... 2 things get 2k, or 1 thing gets 4k. I don't know if it's because it is a 4 spots and Yukino would not appreciate Pop and Pyre on her stage. I mean, that's fair, right? That's fair. A lot of people do run the toilets to build that like stock, right? So, and Yukina herself, requires a lot of stock. So yeah, Bang. Sorry, Goblin Slayer does move out of the way. Maybe, yeah, doesn't want to hit that reverse effect. Fair, right? Again, like Goblin Slayer is like actually really nice, right? In terms of the cards that it has. It has a runner and it also has an interceptor, which does like really everything you want in an early game, right? He does eat all this damage though, so he'll be first to level 1. I didn't see him get much of his level 1 game, so that's going to be a little bit rough on his side. But I mean, you have the Sword Maiden that acts as a Ricky to fetch a Goblin Slayer from the deck, right? So there's the Rize. He does have the level 1. Oh no, sorry, that was damage. Whew. Yeah, so he Rizes for... The Rize comes in after, so my apologies, guys, because the reverse happens after the damage. So yeah, so... Picks, I think that's the 2k backup, which is exactly... Oh no, it's a different card. But he uses a 2k backup to keep the... keep one of the cards alive. I think it's the Interceptor. It's because he ran over there. Gets the 3-2 early play, draws 2. That's a lot of damage eaten, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Goblin Slayer. Oh, look at that promo! Woof! Cash money, guys. That's a 3,480 yen card. Just by the by. I think he played the Torch. So he's gonna get his level 1 combo piece there. So level 1 Torch, of course, is the Nakatsuki effect. So on play, you get to check top 4, pick 1 order character, add it to hand. Of course, this is not bad at all because the level 1 Goblin Slayer's on climax combo with the gate fetches back the Torch, so it's a little bit like the Christmas Kasumi. He opts not to use it though. That's very interesting. Brainstorms instead, gets that climax out of there. His deck must be pretty thin by now, right? Yeah, hits the... Oh, okay, so he's actually like super big brain, right? So he's just trying to so unfortunately all his climaxes are at the bottom, but he's trying to make use of this in the fact that if he hits level 2 now, like he'll probably hit that early play condition because he has the Rizes. Or sorry, not the Rizes, but the whatchamacallit? The Rickies, the Sword Maiden Rickies. I'm cracking Case of Goblin Slayer tomorrow, and I'm terrified of only getting 3 of that promo. Dude, that promo is... I wouldn't say like it's like a crazy promo, it's just the best box topper promo out of them, right? Like the other ones don't even come close. Goblin Slayer would have been fine if he was an order character, but he's not for whatever reason, right? I don't know who screwed up on that, but like... But they did. So yeah, he has the priestesses in hand, the early plays, but unfortunately, like, he doesn't have it in clock in order to use them. So, and he has 2 climaxes that didn't go back. A little bit rough. Plays over with the Brainstorm. Yeah, he's just vanilla swinging at this point in time, I think. So it's the Reverser, the 1/0 Sword Maiden Reverser. Costless Reverser, sorry, should say that. Also checks top, if so gets power. Like, it really is just to get over like any level 0 cards, but versus any like level 1 cards. Of course, costless, right? So yeah, and of course, if she reverses it, bottom decks them, so you avoid encore effects like that. Salvage trigger. He salvages I think the early play. Yeah. So that's if you have 4 more order characters, you can early play this, discard 1, and search for an event. What can you say? I'm sharing the case with my significant other. We don't share cards at all. Yo, man, having another person being able to like pitch into your hobby is like so good. Like, respect to both of you. I appreciate that. Especially if you like both like different things in the set too, then like you just split 50-50, right? Like just down the line, that'd be great. I wish. Refresh from the Bang Dream player. I feel like most of his climaxes did kind of end up in his waiting room, so Goblin Slayer, not so much. At best, he might have like 4 or 5 in there. 5 or 6, maybe, sorry. His field, of course, also not very good. I feel like he's kind of in that I'll tank it and hope to cancel kind of mood as to why he kind of open slotted. Because again, it's not a big deal, right? If he does hit 3 per se, because like, of course, you do have your priestesses. When I started playing KC, he got rather mad when I nabbed his Shimikazes the day he was planning to use them. He should have been faster, you know. You were of course fast like Shimikaze. Him not so much. So not level 2 yet, so he doesn't have that game. So that forces the Bang Dream player to only play like classes characters that might get reversed later as well. So there's the give and take. So since then we buy our own cards now. That's funny. Thanks for sharing, Audrey. A lot of options for Bang Dream right now. I mean, he can sit happily, like at this point in time. Not yet. Level 1 is a little bit awkward. Not yet. At level 2 is a little bit awkward. But hey, when you refresh that much, when you refresh before level 2 with that much in clock, it's nice for your compression, right? Especially since like I'm pretty sure his stock is clean. Yeah, he's just gonna vanilla swing it. He won't be in a bad spot if he sticks all that damage though. Oh, he uses the Kotsky event. Actually, really smart then. That's not the damage. Yeah. Uses the torch events. If it's in level 3, I feel like he's in a good place. Yeah, okay. So, like, as you mentioned, he needs to fight. He has to light his level 2 fever. But now he has given a win to drop the priestesses and deny the fever. Are there Sparla card days for Buta? I think on Twitter they revealed 2 to 4 cards Sigma Flare. One of them was a Sento, and I don't know where the other one is from. But I think a few. Sento is a clock kicker, early play. Let's see here. Audrey, sorry, I'm just unfamiliar with the level 2 fever. Could you explain that a little bit more so I can understand? Because, of course, so is quite important. But it seems like he's just not willing to use the priestesses right now. Just wants to deck compress. So yeah, just vanilla swings. Basically, Fever is like Joker's ability. No, I understand the Joker's ability, or sorry, the how Fever gets hit off. I'm just curious, like what the exact effect is. Pants trigger. Gets the Priestess CX in hand, I think. He doesn't have it, so it's really good. So yeah, each of the 2-1 styles will then take a card from the waiting room and stock it another. Oh, okay. That would be why. Okay. Yeah. I mean, with the cards the Goblin Slayer played this turn, it looks like just fine. So he does have targets. He does have an interceptor that can run, but I mean, if Bang Dream has enough time, which I think he does, he's just gonna play the 2-1s as you've mentioned, and he's just gonna stock them, right? Let's see if he does play around the interceptor, because you do need like 3 of them, right? If you want to get some off. He looks like he only has 2 though. Unless the other one is that one? I can't tell. I think it's a different card. It's a different card. So yeah, he can get at least one of the reverses off, and he will be able to stock. Yeah, so here we go. Man, where are his CXs, man? Goblin Slayer's just kind of been unlucky. Just taking everything. Even like Soul Suppress is nice if you get it off early, right? But like the fact that you like he's like a level of plus behind is gonna be really tough. Oh, sorry, you're right, because it's Fever. Sorry. I keep thinking on reverse effect. You're right. So Fever, for everyone who don't know, and I just got clarified, is Jesus Christ, that damage. Was he gonna die? Um, Ladies and gentlemen, Goblin Slayer got slayed. What the heck? Where are they? Oh my god. The third card is a 3/2 early play Yukina that heals and comes into play at level 2 if Yukina is in level zone. Oh, okay. So yeah, so Bang Dream player quite at the strong level 2 push there. It's really unfortunate that the Goblin Slayer didn't cancel anything all game. Maybe once, I think. It's really tough. Really tough. You can also debate like why didn't he just like I'm not sure if he was able to, but like I feel like he could have. He just played the priestesses early in his level 2 instead of like trying to greet that compression by those zeros. Where's your cancels, Neon? Yeah, right? Where are his cancels? Oh my goodness. I wanted to hype up Goblin Slayer, and then there he goes, being slain. An unfortunate turn of events. But yes, thanks to Audrey's knowledge, I am a little bit more well versed in Bang Dreams, or at least Rosalia's 2-1. That's a pretty strong 2-1. Fever, because like again, for those that don't know, Fever just requires their entire field to be either empty or reversed. Doesn't need a climax combo. So if you fulfill that condition, like bam. I'm not sure if they had the Goblin Slayer needed in the clocked early play the Priestess. There was a bad glare in the level zone. He leveled with one of them, and he did not have any in the clock, or else I think he would have paid for it. If we're not in clock, that explains why she didn't come out. Yeah. What I meant was like I don't know why he didn't clock it to allow him to play the 3/2s in his hand, because he had all three. Had all three, and then he got the CX later. So yeah, I don't know. What should I tell you? But yeah, Rosalia again, quite the strong deck, especially with the latest support for it. Stock gen at 2-1, very good. Running toilets, stock gen, very good. Yukina finisher, very good. I think this Bang Dream player's focus is on Sayo though, or whoever the restander was that was in the latest set. So he uses that instead of the Yukina. But I mean, more stock is always good. Unless you get stock charged, then it kind of sucks. Rinko, that's the name. Right? I'm like, it wasn't Sayo. definitely Rinko. Rinko, it sounds correct. Thank you, Audrey. But yeah, so that was game 2, guys. Actually, no, sorry, that was game 3 because we went right into from game 2. Thanks for watching. We'll be right back for game 4. And we are back for last round, game 4. Both of these players, if you have tuned in with us since the beginning, should be no stranger to you guys. To the left, our lucky star player, and to our right, Love Live Sunshine. Love Live Sunshine took over Sneaker Bunko with some timely Musashi hits. I think he did like 10 damage. Pretty much unanswered, I want to say. So that's how he got there. And Lucky Star, as you can see, or as you did see, toughed it out against who was it? It was Persona. Hey man, goes to show you, as much as I say it to be optimistic, any set in Weiss can beat any other set, right? It's just like the luck really needed for it to happen is higher for older sets. I wouldn't say anything's ever like unplayable unless it's like you choose not to run 8 climaxes, but I think they retconned that rule since for a while now, where you have to have 8. Yeah, I mean I agree with that statement too. Right? They would need more of their regular hits to not like cancel, and you to have more of a timely cancel. Hopefully your cards are, you can keep 1 or 2 cards out, like ideally per turn somehow in some way, right? Okay, so Lucky Star to start off first. As mentioned before, like it's quite the vanilla deck. Power is up at the level 2 with sheer power. So we'll see how that interacts with the Love Live Sunshine, who is of course no stranger to the level 2 game, right? The power being limited because of the early level 2 game is was very strong for it. For those who don't know, I think it's at choose 3. I think it was. I know one of them was the 2/1 assist that allows for you to early play the Yo, and or the card that summons the Yo. Basically, the early play. Chica, maybe that was her name. I'm sorry, I don't actually know their names. I never watched Love Live Sunshine, but here you go. 2 cards played. The standard, of course. Standard turn. Turn 2. Not really overcommitting. I think the Yo acts as a runner and oversized on turn. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what she does. So yeah. Direct attack sticks. Chica brings in Yo with 2/1. Yes. Okay. So so I got it right. Thank you, Audrey, for the confirmation. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, quite potent at the level 2 game, because the early play brings out the burner that checks top and burns equal to level, as well as being big themselves. Unfortunately for Lucky Star, of course, as you saw, he's got hit to level 1 straight away. Not exactly the worst, but like if he can keep the momentum in terms of bringing Love Live Sunshine also to level 1, it'd be good too. To prevent so yeah, it is a mill runner, not a free runner. To prevent him from having the time to accumulate his level 1 game. Gets a book trigger. Adds the card. Oh no, it's a 2 soul. Sorry. No. It's he did get a book trigger. He played down a 2-soul is what happened. I see he tried to stick damage. So like again, as an older set, right, you have to rely on kind of like an early lead take before things really take off for the other decks that require their like level 1 combo, require their like level 3 combo. The fact that Love Life Sunshine isn't at level 1 might be a little bit of a saving grace to Lucky Star, just in the fact that his cards don't have to can't be reversed by the combo, the blue combo from Love Life Sunshine. Actually, quite calculated really on the Lucky Star player side. He had an extra swing and opted not to swing. As he did know that there was a on reverse probably combo that he dodged. So these will be vanilla swings. If they're all level 1s, they will probably all die too, leaving open slots for more direct damage as well. So the gambit of the 2 souls kind of can be made up for in the next turn, as you know, a direct attack gets an additional soul as well. Bounces the middle card with the wind trigger for more damage. So hopefully this pays off for the Love Life Sunshine as well. It does. Extra soul damage is always good. But yeah, so it's just the mill runner right now. Probably won't contest anything, and really just runs. So I'm not sure if Lucky Star does have that on reverse effects or anything like that at all. So it probably won't come into play really. However, of course, as a mill runner, you can just mill and get closer to a CX and play that game with your deck, right? Hopefully, it's not a climax that you mill. It's just another card that you would have liked to move closer to that climax to cancel. Sometimes you see players, just put it at the back just to have that mill effect. So yeah, Lucky Star assembled the field, of course. He is almost level 2. He didn't cancel at all, so that's a little bit unfortunate on his side. So the game is quite accelerated in terms of his point of view. Yeah, so just going in. I mean, that's all really he can do. Try to match. Yeah, so mill runner. He doesn't run, but he just opts to mill, as I mentioned, just to get closer to climax. It's quite the uphill battle from Lucky Star, of course, if he does play those 2 souls. I think that's a 2 soul, anyways. The other thing it could be, of course, is a 2K1. I didn't see him draw off of it. Oh no, he might have, which is why he probably drew the book. So it might just be a 2K1. We'll see. Hits the level 1. Hits the Sunshine player to level 1. We'll see based on this. Okay, for 4. Yeah, so it's only a 2K1. Otherwise, it would have been definitely more soul damage. Unfortunately, he couldn't tough it out to put him to level 2. He would have liked him to be. Lucky Star player would have liked to send the Sunshine player also to level 2. That way, you wouldn't have exactly the resources, hopefully, to facilitate getting every card he needed right away, because he would have been preparing for his like level 1 game, right? Oh, clocks for a card. Still not at level 2 though, so he's fine. Draws and ditches. Yeah, so he gets the level 1 combo piece, of course. SP, good flex. So, I mean, he'll probably hit the on reverse effects. Lucky Star not being able to do anything much, except for, of course, play the backup, but that would be the only other way out. On the plus side, though, it's only like 2 cards. 2 cards for the Sunshine player in order to. So he only gets +2 probably. Yeah, drops it down. A lot of climaxes out for the Lucky Star player, unfortunately, though. So, like, hopefully he keeps himself at level 2. but like I could also see him going to level 3 as well. Especially if Sunshine Play drops down to Climax Combo, because that's another 2/2. Yeah, there it is. So Pants Trigger, 1k 1 to all. And what I mean by 1k 1, of course, is 1k power and additional soul to everything. So they'll do more damage to the player, as well as do more damage to the opponent's characters this turn. Lucky Star Player just clarifying, I guess, the strength of, or even the effect of the Yo. Yeah, so looks like Sunshine Player is about to refresh as well after this. I think there's only like 4 cards left. Takes 2, levels up. Unfortunately, he couldn't get this level up before he refreshed, so all that's going back in as well. So not the best. Just a Hail Mary hit. And actually, level 0 reversers. So I mean, at least he'll take the cards with him. But yeah, as I mentioned, he's basically at level 3 right now. Lucky Star is anyways, so approximately a level behind. So let's see if he can't make up anything here. Yeah, Lucky Star just opting to push up. Yeah, play the level 2 games. Yeah, he doesn't want to exactly be at 3. He doesn't want to clock either. Probably doesn't feel like he has any climaxes. Oh, he drew another climax. That's unfortunate. With that many cards left, yeah, he's just wanting this book trigger to go back. Looks like there's a climax combo and allows them to search in the Konata. I think it's a 2/2. Yeah. So he searches for a card, probably a level 3 card. I didn't see what he exactly brought in. He still has a climax? Oh my goodness. So he opts to oh my god, they're all at the end there. They're all at the end. So he booked into a climax, of course. And yeah, Sunshine canceling again. So that's super tough. That's super tough. And he didn't have any targets to like reverse himself, so he can't even pay 3 to pay it out. Not that you might at that point anyways, but there's always an option. Yeah, Audrey, it's super rough for Lucky Star. Like, the fact that you also send, like, sorry, Sunshine Player just leveled up right now with all the cards left in his clock, so his compression's pretty good. No cards on the field, of course, so it's not like the best. Yeah, for making this way, for sure. One more swing, hopefully cancels. Oh, maybe he doesn't have the early play condition. Wouldn't that be something? Maybe. Oh no, he does. He runs 4. Of course, he runs 4. Why wouldn't he have the early play condition? Wishful thinking. But yeah, with the 2/1 in the clock now, Love Light Sunshine can do whatever he wants basically. It also looks like the wind trick has been a little bit more popular in effect for the Sunshine players builds, but we'll see what happens. Debating on what he wants to play. The cards in his hand isn't that much. He did lose 3 cards last turn, so we'll see what happens. Pays 1 for the Ruby to check top 4. They're all climaxes! Oh my god. Well, there you go, guys. There might still be chance. Oh my god. He has 2 in hand, too. That's 6 climaxes out for the Sunshine player. And he canceled last turn. So he has, like, none left into the deck. It was Brainstorm, though. Was it a Brainstorm? Is that why? Was it a Brainstorm? No. I don't think so. My goodness. This does change a lot of things. Sunshine player just making sure of the powers that he's facing, just because the Konota at the back, where everything is just pumping everything. I actually don't know the effects by first hand, but there is a lot of power going around here. So we'll see. What is that ruby? I'm actually very curious. Maybe I'll take a look. Oh boy. Oh, is it a search ditch? Is that why? Oh yeah, so I mean he gets it off. He gets the early play Chica into the Yo, so that's that. And there you go. He plays the level 1. He does have the blue climax in hand, right? So I mean, makes sense to me. Why not? Check to add 1 from the 2 climax combo on reverse. I feel like it's on reverse. But yeah, Love Ascension actually kind of hurting for cards, honestly speaking. So, see how it goes. Especially since another card is a CX, right? So he has a card, CX, and after he played the CX, like he'll need to reverse this. But again, I mean he's a level-ish up, so there's that. And we know that Lucky Star's out quite a few. Hopefully that last card is, so he'll at least cancel that one. And then refresh damage hopefully isn't a climax, and then he'll be a level 3 and cancel everything. Then it'll be interesting, but we'll see how it goes. Burn for... Oh, pay 1, back up. So there we go. Shuts... I wouldn't say shuts down the Yo. The Yo didn't burn anything. But I mean, at least he gets rid of that. Might force the Bang Dream... not the Bang Dream, sorry. Love Live Sunshine player to pay 3 for the Encore. Not sure if he'll be willing to do it. But yeah. So your regular swings, of course. For 3. The other one's stuck, unfortunately. For 4, cancels. And of course, oh, for 3. Okay. So, little bit rough there. Mostly Yo can't add any level 0s to hand. That's very interesting. I'll have to double check that. He does get the reverse off, so yeah, can't clock. So I mean, Lucky Star's just going for broke, right? Really. What else can you do? Except try to God cancel after. This game is pretty much in the bag on Sunshine, still being at 2-1. Hopefully, Lucky Star will make it at least a close game. We did know that he milled out 4 climaxes, right? So there's only like 1 left. So well, there we go. However, as we know, there's not much for 3. 3 sticks. If he hits level 3, it'll be a close game. You know, if both players are level 3, it's a close game. Oh, for 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. If if yeah, level 3. So close game, close game. As expected of finals. So that's nice. But yeah. Outside of a triple god cancel from Lucky Star, this game's pretty over. Only need to deal 1 damage. There's level 1s out on the field as well, so the Love Live Sunshine player can't opt to just, you know, try to do exact damage through siding if need be. So that's a thing. He does have a CX as well. So, I mean, with the level 2 on board, he can also deal exact damage, depending if he puts a level 3 out in front of it. A lot of, like, you know, at this point, I would say like 95, probably closer to like 99%, like, the game's over. He has a Musashi burner. Well, there you go. 99%. The Yo flex of the Musashi burner, as you all know. Musashi's effect, for those of you that don't know, is if this card's damage gets cancelled, you may mill the top card of your deck and burn equal to that level plus 1 for damage. So it'll always at least burn for 1. If you cancel, if you don't cancel, he dies. So, like, very good profile. Decks that, you know, can have a Musashi probably would play the Musashi. Not always the case, but generally speaking, like, how do you say no to it? Yeah, just counting powers now, seeing what he can commit. Again, Sunshine player has not a lot of choices in cards, just due to his hand size, but I think he definitely will have enough to just take the game. Seeing as he is 2 away from dying. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. That's it. And there you have it, folks. Like, just really an unfortunate turn of like the end of the second refresh from Lucky Star. If you didn't like trigger and draw all of those climaxes at the very end, I mean, you could argue, but or sorry, debate. We debate here, civilized people. We like he could have canceled maybe a little bit more, especially during that last term where he can you tell I appreciate seeing him seeing that on the final table. Hashtag respect. I will pass it on, Audrey. I'm sure he'll be quite happy to know that he's got some fans on the stream. I mean, he's the only Lucky Star player. Oh, sorry, we have 2, but the other person has since stopped playing. He only came with a TD anyways. But yeah, he reps some of the random stuff every now and then. Lucky Star being one of them. He is also a resident Macross player. So yeah, that's game 4. Lucky Star couldn't deal, but hey, both got to level 3. Close game, close game. Let's see if they're going to be doing any friendlies. I'm not sure if they are, so stay tuned. I'll be right back really quick, and if there's another game going on, I'll be happy to commentate that one. Otherwise, I think that is it for the night. So if you want to stay tuned for maybe another 5 minutes or so, we'll see what else can be done. I will pass that word along to our Lucky Star player, Audrey. So I'll be right back. So it looks like that's it for our stream this week, guys. Thanks for watching once again. Appreciate all the follows and all the discussions actually we have while we're commentating. We will be streaming again probably next Wednesday and probably next Friday as well. So yeah, stay tuned. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you guys next week.